to the cloud. So you might have to just hit got it on there. All right, guys. So great wins. I love it. So on today's call, I do actually have a bit of an agenda, but before we get there, I wanted to this is for you guys. So definitely wanted to celebrate those wins. Also, if you guys have any burning questions that you need to ask me, now is the time. At the end of the call, I'm going to go through some housekeeping, but that's never all that much fun. So we'll do that at the end of the call. And then I just really did. Actually, Jennifer, you kind of landed on some of the things that I want to talk about on this call. So, but before I get into the topics, does anybody have any dying questions, burning questions that they need to ask? This is your opportunity to ask them. And a lot of times somebody else has got it on their mind too. No?
I feel like I need to start writing down some questions because during the week as I'm going through the workouts, I have them and I lose them, but I'm going to start writing them down.
You know what? I love that idea because, part of the housekeeping that I was going to talk to you guys about is I'm going to start doubling up on these calls. So we're definitely going to have 2 of them a month because what I'm finding is a lot of you guys in the Ruby program aren't using your one-on-ones. So what I want to do is do these group calls. And then we might get to a place where they are weekly. A couple of reasons for that. Number one, you just hit the nail on the head. It's going to actually help me if I do these group calls and I get you guys to I start answering questions in here because it stops me getting on my phone all the time, which allows me to then be less reactionary with you guys and more ahead of the game. So as we grow, that is one thing that I'm looking at. So that's a really great idea. I love it. If you guys can write down your questions and bring them to these coaching calls, that's amazing. Because you know what? To your point, Anastasia, I find a lot of you guys, it's very, very funny. I don't know if it's the universe or what it is, but you all have the same questions all the time. And so it's a mass. So really, when I say one of you has it, you all come up with the same stuff at about the same time. So that's awesome. And I can address it as one. So I love that. I love that. I'm trying to watch to see if anybody's coming in as well. Any other questions or ideas or thoughts? Look at the little one. All right, with that being said, what I want to talk about, guys, and you might just have a little homework from this as well, is a little bit about mindset. Because as we just started, and Jennifer pointed out, mindset is huge, guys. So what I wanted to really talk about is, and I have this set up on your check-ins, but really kind of talk about the mindset and the why behind it. So goals and non-negotiables. So a lot of you guys, there is a specific reason why every single check-in on the form, I want you guys to put down your goals, and I talk about stretch goals, and then I talk about non-negotiables. Does anybody have an idea on why these are so important? Any clue at all? Feel free to drop it in the chat box or just come off mute and say, I got it. What do you have there, young lady?
It's so that we can have something that we can strive for. So we can have a goal in mind. So that way it's something that we're trying to reach for, for the week. There could be small ones and then there could be long-term, short-term or long-term goals. So that way it's there, it's in our faces, we have it in our brain, what we're going to be doing for the week, and do our best to follow through with that goal, that purpose.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. That's definitely super much part of it. Super much. Where'd that word come from? So the reason for the goals and the non-negotiables, things to think about, and each one of you guys work a little differently. So I also want to throw out systems. So non-negotiables can also be looked at as systems. When we talk about goals, one thing that the reason why I ask you guys for stretch goals is one thing that can happen is if we are vague with a goal, we allow wiggle room. So this is why I ask you guys for stretch goals, why I want bigger goals and all like related to your journey, because if it's a stretch goal, if it seems out of reach for you, you're going to want to strive for it more. Okay. And that's where I kind of give you guys examples of thinking of things that just you might be like, there's just absolutely no way I'm ever going to do that. I'm never going to fit into these jeans again. I'm never going to do, whatever it might be. I like visual ones, but it can be anything. And the reason why I say that is if we're vague with the goals, if we're not super specific, if they're not stretch goals, we allow wiggle room. Make sense? If that makes sense, say hell yes, drop some fire in the chat box. Let me know that makes sense to you guys, okay? Now, paired to what Jennifer said, if, we think about long-term goals as well, those are stretch goals or long-term goals, that also, as she was saying, makes it like that's that stretch goal. Oh, we got somebody here. We got Lisa coming in. That makes it also something that is like we want to reach for. So think about it almost as a vision, like these stretch goals. It's like ideally the reason why you press play and you came to me, right? Now, when you hit that first stretch goal, that's what I tell you guys sometimes in your feedback is that's when you're going to have to come up with a new one because you're all going to hit it. That's why you're here. But like that's generally that first stretch goal is that, or that vision. This is what I want. I want a snatch race. I want a round booty. I want to lose whatever it was you came to me is your vision. And that's really that stretch goal. So when you think about the goals, hi, Lisa. Goals are basically the results you want to achieve. So everybody write that in the chat box. Goals are the results I want to achieve. They give direction, okay? Goals are the results I want to achieve. Non-negotiables are the habits that we create that are going to make progress. So this is why I ask for the non-negotiables, because these are the habits that lead to the results. So the goals are the results we want to achieve. The non-negotiables is the progress that's going to lead to the results. Does that make sense? Everybody say, holy shit, now I get it, Jules.
Holy shit, now I get it.
This is why this shit's so important. Because these are the results. So everybody write that in the chat box. Non-negotiables are the habits that lead to results. That's why this shit's so important. So if you put the non-negotiables in place, yes, I have notes, because otherwise I go off in tangents. And I'll probably still go off in a tangent. So if you have the non-negotiables in place, the goals that are the results that you, or the vision that you want to attain, now it becomes easier. Make sense? Hell yes, this makes sense, Jules. So the vision with the non-negotiables are what's going to get you the results. The vision or the goals with the system. So if you're a system person, you can think the vision with the system is going to get me the results. I talk about it with goals and non-negotiables that are going to give you the results, but however you want to look at it, that is it. Make sense? Hell yes, right? All right.
Hell yes.
Hell yes. All right. So now let's talk about consistency, because this is the shit that comes in next. All right. So now, before I get to consistency, I want everybody in here to go, Now that I get it, Jules, my stretch goals and my non-negotiables are going to be much more specific in my weekly check-ins. I'm going to be so let me make that simple. You can drop in the chat box. I'm going to get real specific with my goal and my non-negotiables. Now, side note, guys, a lot of you say, oh shit, I forgot what I wrote last time. My suggestion, if you got an iPhone, is you write down that's for a couple of reasons. One, you can copy and paste it every time. Two, it's now in your phone where you can look at it. Damn, if I wouldn't make it a screen. Mine's a screensaver. Do you know that? Yeah, we're not going to see it. All my apps are over it, but I actually have a screensaver in the back that has my goals and my non-negotiables. I created it in Canva and I drop it on the back of my screen. And when my phone is in lock, I can see it every single time. So it sits here and stares at me. But anyway, you can do it any way you want. You can put it in your notes if you want, but put down that vision, those goals, those 3 specific goals. So 1, 2, 3 that I asked for, and then each one of them should have a non-negotiable 1, 2, 3 that goes alongside of it. So that's your homework. And everybody that listens into this call, everybody that's here right now, I fully expect your check-ins to be like boom, 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 boom. Got it? Give me a thumbs up if you're all on board. Awesome. All right, so now let's talk about consistency. Basically, guys, this is something about, this falls into the same thing of the non-negotiables. So the non-negotiables become something that you do every single day with consistency. So actions that are done repeatedly, say daily, become habits. Habits become a lifestyle. So write that in the chat box, guys. Actions done repeatedly become habits. Habits become lifestyles. So the reason why I talk about brushing your teeth or taking a shower, this is why I use the example. Because if the wheels are fucking falling off the car, y'all brush your teeth, don't you? Do you brush your teeth? If the wheels are falling off the car, everything's gone to shit, do you brush your teeth still? Lisa, you're looking at me like, hell no, I don't brush my teeth. But if that makes sense, guys, drop in the chat box. I got it. Makes fucking, actually say that. It makes fucking sense, Jules. Makes fucking sense. So this is why I want you guys to put this stuff in place. So when the wheels are falling off, these non-negotiables are things that you do every single day. And like brushing your teeth and taking a shower, it doesn't matter if your world turns upside down, shit goes flying all over the place. Those non-negotiables are going to happen no matter what. Does that make sense? That's why we want this to happen. So think about, and here's a little layer on top of it. When we put these things in place, we start to learn. We might actually stretch a little bit and encounter some learning, some habits, some things that are going to benefit us in different ways. So like right now, I'm talking about non-negotiables being that gym time, right? So if you think about the goal is I want to snatch waist and a round booty, well, one of the non-negotiables probably should be that my ass is going to get to the gym 5-6 days a week, right? If I want to lose some body fat, you know, one of my non-negotiables is probably going to be I need to stick to the fucking meal plan. No bullshit, right? Make sense? So the consistency of it then becomes that habit. So now think about, here's another way to look at it. You could also look at things like the consistency of getting up possibly 30 minutes earlier to get shit done. So you get out of bed 30 minutes earlier every single day. And maybe part of that 30 minutes of getting up earlier is a routine that you create. Maybe and I challenge you all to think about this, it's a routine that you create for your mindset. So maybe it's getting up 30 minutes earlier, having your coffee, leaving your fucking phone over there, nothing to do with it, not turning on the news, not turning on anything, and spending 30 minutes with yourself, be it journaling, be it gratitude, maybe it's learning. Maybe you get on a podcast for 30 minutes, you lace up your shoes and you go for a walk and you learn something. Or maybe it's, like I said, it's gratitude. Maybe it's journaling. You like to journal, you like to do affirmations, but think about if you did that consistently along with other things, what would change versus whatever it is you're doing right now. Getting on and watching the news, running around the house, whatever it is. But if you set that time aside for you, 30 minutes a day, I promise you, your whole day will go differently. Your entire day. In fact, I challenge you guys to try that for 30 days and then come back and tell me if your days did not change, if shit did not happen better, flow better for you, you had less bad days versus amazing days. It just becomes easier when you spend that time with yourself. Or another example could be becoming consistent with a nighttime routine. Maybe you spend 30 minutes at night reading a book and learning or listening to a podcast versus watching Netflix. Think of the shit you would learn in that 30 minutes. Make sense, guys? Drop a hell yes if it makes sense. Okay. So the thing is, guys, think about this. Small changes. If you can commit to just a small change choice and you do it consistently over time, you're going to get significant results. So you brush your teeth every day. It's a small choice that you made. The significant results you get is you don't have cavities, your teeth don't fall out, all of those fun things, right? So small choices that take minute amount of time. So like now if we put it into what I just talked about, small choices on a day, a morning or an evening ritual is going to equal a significant result for you in the future. Just like a small choice of what did Jennifer said, today she had actually, I'm pretty damn proud of her. What you just did was an example of a non-negotiable. You took your ass to the gym, right? You didn't say I can't. It was a non-negotiable. Your ass went to the gym, and that small, minute little change had a what? Significant difference in your life. You just got done telling us that. You were like, well, shit, that made all the difference in the world. Like it was better. Makes sense? So those little changes, or you look at it this way, just, the non-negotiable of following the meal plan, of putting in the work. And some guys, there's going to be days. I have days and I call it check the box days. And it is what it is. But because shit's a non-negotiable with me, I have check the box days. There are days that the gym does not go the way that I would like it to go every single day. I drag my little ass there and I go, and today is a great example. I've been super tired today going to the gym. I was exhausted. I had chest day today. Thank God I had chest today, nothing major for me. And I honestly checked the box today in the gym. Did I break any records? No. Did I kill it? Did I walk out with no, I didn't. But I got that shit done. And I call those check the box days. I try not to have too many of them, but I check the box. Does that make sense? Because it's a non-negotiable with me. It just happens. And those small little changes are going to have significant results at the end. That's how you get arms like this. That's how you get snatched waist, round booties. You ask anybody in here, consistency is what got them to their end results. You talk to Kia, if she was on this call, she'd tell you it was her consistency that had her losing up to 90 pounds with at-home workouts, because she just consistently showed up for herself every single day. You heard it in the tribe talk this Wednesday. All right, if that makes sense. Yep, I got it. You guys already know the drill. All right, so you want a little more fire? You ready for some more? Or you want me to just call it a day? I'll give you a little more if you want it. All right, how do you measure these results? Does anybody know? You guys are funny. I'm fired up today. You'd never know I'm tired, would you?
By how you feel.
How you feel. I love it. Good. Anybody else? Let me see in the chat box. Dun, 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 dun. I need to close this so I can actually see the stinking chat box. There we go. All right. Anybody else got it? How you feel is how you can measure results. Anything else? Has anybody ever heard of SMART goals? Who's heard of a SMART goal? Raise their hand. Woo woo. All right. So I want somebody to tell me, what does the S stand for in the SMART goal? You can type it in the chat box. You can yell it out loud. I don't care.
Specific.
Specific. That's right. Way to go. What does the M stand for in a SMART goal? I think I see you.
Measurable.
Measurable.
Yeah.
Yes. So it has to be a specific goal that is measurable. And what does the A stand for?
Attainable.
Attainable. Yes. And the R?
I don't remember what the R is. Reachable. Reachable.
Close. It has to be relevant.
Oh yeah, relevant.
Relevant. Same thing. Very, very, very damn close. And T, what does the T stand for?
Oh, within a certain amount of time, like within a
Yes.
time frame.
Yep. So there needs to be a timeline. You got to put a stamp on that damn thing, i.e. 16 weeks, i.e. this is what I want. So those are the things, like when you're putting your goals together, you want to make sure they're SMART goals, because now you can do what with them? Measure them, right? Makes sense? So when you are creating your goals on your checklist that are going to have non-negotiables that go behind them, now I want you to think about them in a very smart way. All right. Everybody type SMART in the chat box. My stretch goals are going to be SMART as, yeah, that's what it's going to be. All right. The last thing I want to talk about tonight when it comes to goals, and this has been a consistent theme, you guys hear me talk about it all the time, but there are 5 words, and I bet you're not going to guess what I'm going to say. There are 5 words that should never be in your vocabulary when it comes to creating goals. What's the first one? Should.
Good try.
Should, that's right. Should. You should eliminate should from your vocabulary. It should not be used. Should not be used. Because here's the reason why, guys. Should brings on guilt. I should have. Damn, I really should have did that. Damn it. Now you feel what? Guilty, right? So instead of should, try using the word I will. Everybody type I will in the chat box. No more should. So every time you hear you say, I should go to the gym. I should. Nope. Put yourself a jar out. When you say should, have to throw a quarter in it. Boy, you'll have all kinds of money. And then change that to I will. Deal? Okay. Second word. Oh, this one we already kind of hit. I think Jennifer hit on this. Soon. Cut it off. I will do it soon. Why? Because it's part of SMART goal, right? It falls under the T. So if you don't have a time frame on it, you say, I'll do it soon. Now you took the timestamp off. So when the goal comes into place and you say, so whenever you say soon, you've taken the timestamp off, shit ain't gonna happen. And that's the same thing you hear me preaching about in my stories all the time. And this is true. Like, first of all, you all need to go in the chat box and give yourselves, every single one of you needs to drop a high five because you joined this tribe and you took soon out of your vocabulary. That's the number one reason. Women, you guys did it. But that's the number one reason people won't join. That's the number one excuse I get. I will do it soon. I will do it this. Guess what? I come right out and tell them, well, you ain't ever going to get the results because soon ain't ever going to come. Who knows? I'm bold. I just typed it in somebody's DM. I said, well, good luck with that because soon ain't ever going to come. You're never going to do it because there's always an excuse. So soon. So instead of soon, what could we do? Give it a specific
Right now.
Yeah, right now, or give it a specific time, right? It's either I'm going to do it right now, or I'm going to do it at 5 o'clock, or I'm going to do it in, I'm going to do it on this day at this time, right? So like, I need to meal prep. I'm going to meal prep soon. No, I'm going to meal prep at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, or I'm going to meal prep on Sundays. So give things a timetable versus saying soon. Deal? Third one. I need to, or I have to. That shit's negative. You say I need to do something. I need to meal prep. I have to go to the gym. Well, that fucking doesn't sound like fun, does it? I have
want
to. Who said that?
Jennifer.
Yes, Jennifer, I want to, or I get to.
Yeah.
Freaking get to. I want to go to the gym, or I like to tell you guys, I get to. I get to do this. So instead of I have to, I get to do this for my health. I get to do this for my family. I get to do it for my kids. I get to do it for this sexy ass body, whatever it is for you, but I get to do it. Every time you say I have to, or I need to, quarter goes in that jar. You guys are going to be rich. And you got to turn it around. So like, I'm being funny here, but I'm really serious, guys. I need everybody to write in the chat box, I get to, or I want to, because it's super serious. If you can start to catch yourself, and classic example, who just started off the whole conversation, Jennifer today, instead of saying, she started it off, her win was, instead of saying, I can't, she changed her tune. Okay, fourth one, quit. Gone. No longer in our vocabulary. Quit. Because if you talk about quitting, and I bet you don't even know where I'm going to go with this one. If you talk about quitting, it is relatable to giving up, throwing in the towel. Ah, hell, I quit. Done. That's the mindset that's going to go with the word quit. So I quit smoking. I quit this. I quit that. I quit eating fast food. Like, even if it's, you think it's good, I quit eating fast food. Nope, don't use that word quit, because it is in the mind relatable to quitting, giving up, throwing in the towel, being done. So instead of that, stop. I stopped smoking. I stopped eating fast food. I stopped eating junk food. Does that one make sense? Versus I quit? I know it's a tricky one, but think about it, guys. It's something that will happen in your brain when you use the word quit. So, well, you might think, so start catching yourself with the word, I quit doing this, and say, I stopped doing it. So write that in the chat box. I didn't quit, I stopped. I stopped that shit. Maybe I should be a motivational speaker. Anybody think I should do motivational speaking? I kind of used to do it at that point in time. All right, last one, number 5. Who can guess it? Begins with an N. Never.
Oh, yeah, never.
Eliminate the word never from your vocabulary especially when writing goals or looking to obtain a vision, because never puts pressure on us. Makes us feel pressure. We don't want pressure. So if you eliminate the word pressure or never from your vocabulary, it'll eliminate putting pressure on yourself. So I'm never gonna ever eat the pizza again. That just put a lot of pressure on you. I'm never, ever gonna live here. Sheesh, that's a lot of pressure. Versus, and I'm gonna use just an easier call, I will never oversleep again. No. Instead, you can say, I will set an alarm 15 minutes earlier, so I get up on time. See the difference? If that makes sense, guys, say that makes sense, Jules. I got you.
Makes sense, Jules.
Perfect. Anybody got any questions on my rant? That was my rant. But in all seriousness, does that really help you guys resonate a little bit with the seriousness around the check-ins and why I have you do that? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yep. Are you gonna take them a little more seriously now? Not that you weren't.
More specific and more like linked together. Like I like how it's, you know, the non-negotiables and the goals will be linked together. Like I haven't been looking at them together. And so now I can be more specific with that.
Yep. And that's kind of your homework, guys. So everybody that's here, everybody that tunes in, when you write them, do exactly that, Jennifer. I like that you brought that up again. So it's 1, 2, 3 stretch goals, 1, 2, 3 specifics. And yes, they kind of link up or non-negotiables and they link together. Absolutely. And the other thing that I want you to do is when you're thinking about them, because I get this question a lot too. Well, I don't know what to put as a stretch goal. Remember, it's the vision. You know, it's the vision that you have. And you also want to make sure you're thinking about it smartly. So you want to make sure it's a SMART goal. And you guys are all pretty good about putting SMART goals together. I will say that you really are. But then in your own mind, write that word SMART down as you're writing them down, like on the side. And think about it, like, is this a specific goal that I can measure that's obtainable? It's got to be obtainable, even though it's a stretch goal. So you're like, well, but Jules, you told us to reach, stretch. Yes, you know, I want you to stretch for it. And in your mind, it should seem like out of reach, but everything's obtainable. So, you know, like what I mean by obtainable is, you know, if you're 5'4" and you say you want to be 5'5" or 5'6" and you're a full adult, okay, that's not obtainable. Sorry, that ain't happening. You're not growing anymore. Okay. But you know, like there are, most of your goals are pretty much obtainable. So just think about that. Like, you know, all of you can reach every single goal that you came to me with, and then making sure that's, you know, that you're putting that timetable on it, which again, most of you are really good about that. You know, you've got your goal set and you have timetables. So I will say that you all do a real good job of that. But then the other little challenge that I sprinkled on the top is those words. So remember, we've got 5 words. Who knows what they are? Number 1 is, we're never going to, should.
Oh, should.
Can't is a good one too. Number 2 is the word, it begins with an S too. Soon. We're eliminating soon. Number 3, that's 2 of them. I need to or I have to. 4, quit. And 5, never. So, and you guys put in the chat box the words that we're going to use to replace them, which is I will. We're going to be specific. We're gonna say things like I get to, I want to. We're gonna replace quit with I stop. And never, we're just gonna find a solution versus saying never. So instead of never, there'll be a solution to it instead, because we don't want that pressure. Make sense? All right. Questions, concerns, thoughts? Did you like that?
No.
Lisa, did you share a win with us? You came in late.
A win. I have a million of them.
I'd say those guns that you threw out today were a win.
Maybe that's my win. I have like, whoo. I don't know. I'm still really excited about my pants fitting again. It's gonna be my win forever. I think for this week, my biggest win is really, oh gosh, what happened this week? Let me think. The biggest win for this week would be, it's all a win. I don't know. I don't have anything specific. I can't think of it other than just feeling, I feel like I've lost even, like my weight has stayed about the same, but
Mhm.
but I'm smaller.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Tightening up and eating more food.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I love it. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you guys all for sharing. So if you don't have any questions, concerns, thoughts, table's yours. What's the feather, Anastasia, that you have? Does everybody, is it just me? Doesn't it look like she's got a feather? She's frozen now too. I'm like, what's the feather?
It came from my mirror. It's actually called a hokule,
I think,
flower crown, and I might be breaking a thing hanging from my car mirror.
oh, got it. You were frozen for a bit. Ha! All right. All right, guys, I am going to go over a little bit of housekeeping. Do I have permission to do that? All right. So,
Yes.
woo, woo, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So guys, just some housekeeping, and that's for all of you guys here, anybody that watches, that comes in. So I'm going to ask that everybody, I'm going to talk about check-ins for a minute. So number one, you've all been doing fire jobs of getting your check-ins on time. Okay. But I want everybody to work hard on getting it in by 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. On whatever day is your check-in. It just helps me stay in line. It helps me be able to get things done in a timely fashion and not delay the next batch that's coming in. Okay. So and I will say the housekeeping is you may see some adjustments happening. I may be reaching out. I haven't decided yet. I have to look at it, but for some reason I had the alphabet split in two, and the front half of the alphabet is getting pretty damn heavy on Sunday. So I might have to change my timeline and be asking some of you guys to split up or take volunteers. I haven't decided yet. Right now I'm okay. But that being said, I also am going to ask that everybody be really patient with me. I like to spend a lot of time on your check-ins because I feel like it's valuable information. I probably spend far too much time, but I also want to make sure that you guys are getting what you need. I know that I do, and I'm trying to actually cut myself back, but I have a hard time doing it because I look at it as an opportunity to also coach you guys. So that being said, I ask that you guys be patient with me. So knowing that when you drop your check-ins, I may not get back to you immediately. Give me 24 to 48 hours. Okay. It's usually, and I know that sometimes I spit them out like that. And that just means like I might be up. A lot of times what you guys see me doing is I'm on my phone. Okay. And I think it can get confusing, and I see you guys checking in. So all I'm doing is looking at your pictures on my phone. okay, or your weigh-in. So then I make a comment back. I haven't actually done your check-in. I'm just seeing stuff. So you'll see me respond sometimes like that because I'm out in the gym or I'm doing something and I see your check-ins and I just can't help myself. I'm like, oh, damn, that looks good. So you see me responding, but I ask for the 24 or the 48 hours. And I say that time span, guys, because it depends on what's happening in my world. Okay. I really always try to spit them off in 24 hours, but I say 48 hours because I don't want to feel guilty. Okay. So if that is okay with you, say, we got it, Jules.
Got it, Jules.
All right. And like I said, the 48 hours is just to take the relief off of me if things are happening and I can't get to it, that I don't feel the pressure. And I know you guys understand that I got 24 to 48 hours. I pretty much try to turn it around. And so what that means is Sundays should always have it by the end of the day. Monday, maybe Tuesday, meaning Monday's check-ins should be by the end of the day, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, but really I've been pretty much close to that 24-hour rule. And the reason is because so Sundays and Mondays are check-in days, which means Mondays, I'm following up on Sundays. Tuesday leads into a little bit of check-in day, with Wednesdays and Thursdays being the days that I write your meal plans and your new workout plans, okay? So remember, I wait until you check in. So while your meal plan is 2 weeks, 4 weeks long, a lot of times it may roll into 4 to 5 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, okay? But 4 to 5, because I'm waiting for that check-in to come in so I can see what you did, and then I write your new plan. Sometimes if you guys are really good, that's why I have you writing down, don't cheat either. I know when you're cheating because I have a spreadsheet. But when you put that's why I have, when did you get your meal plan? So if you happen to remember that and you're writing that down, sometimes if I see, I can start to plan ahead, and that's where I can kind of set up for success and get you your meal plan a little bit earlier. That's my idea behind that one. It hasn't been working out so well, but makes sense. Good. All right. Makes me feel better. Okay, I get stressed out in the beginning of the week. You have no idea. I'm like, oh, get this shit done. And understandably, guys, and this isn't me. I guess this is me asking for permission. Remember, I want each and every one of you to feel like individuals and like you are the only person that I'm working with. I really find that to be important, but you're not. And then other shit falls into my day. There's stuff that you don't know. Like I get meetings, I get stuff that has to happen. I got to shoot content. I got this to happen, that to happen. And that's where I say that 24 to 48 hour rule. And I get stressed out because I have other things that are coming in. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to get this done. So that's where, just so you guys understand, like there's other shit that'll spiral into my days, believe it or not. I know it looks like on social media I'm just lollygagging through Tulum, but really I'm not. I haven't even been to the beach yet. That's on my bucket list for this weekend. All right. I want to move into 2 of these calls, okay? So I said that in the beginning, so that's the next little piece of housekeeping. I will let you know what I'd like you guys to do. You don't have to do it now. You can come back in this recording. You can private message me. You can write it, but what I'd like to know is what days you would prefer. Do we keep this Friday night call and add a Saturday morning? Or do we add a morning someplace else? I would like a vote. Do we like Fridays? Yes, we like Fridays. No, Jules, we'd rather have Thursday nights because I do feel we need an evening and a morning. I have a feeling you all are going to vote for the Saturday morning because it's a weekend. But is the Friday evening good? And what morning would we like? Because I'm going to have 2 a month. Cool. They're both going to be different too. I'm just going to record them and then each one will be different. We'll set it up at the beginning and the end of the month kind of thing. Cool. Everybody vote. Okay. This is how I'm going to do, or I'm just going to pick. Oh, this is a fun one. So I forgot about this one. I have a virtual assistant starting. This virtual assistant, I call her a virtual assistant, but what she's going to be doing is she is going to be in my, oh, I'm seeing this. Right, okay, I'm gonna squirreling myself here. She's gonna be in my DMs, okay? So she's going to be taking some shit off of my plate. It's important for you for two reasons. One, she's gonna be in my direct messages, messaging leads that are people that are coming in, reaching out to people. So number one, if you have a referral, it's very important that you connect us, the two of us in a group chat, okay? Because that's how what will keep her out of it, and me in it. Now, the other thing is I have color coded all of you. So if you guys didn't notice some of your messages turned a different color in the chat, I'm trying to organize you guys, but I may have missed a few people. She mimics me, okay? She doesn't come out as herself. So she's in my chat box behaving as me, picking up my behavioral. So if this is why I'm telling you guys that if you want somebody to really be sure they're talking to me, is make sure you connect us in a chat, because I will pick those up. She won't touch them, but she's learning to talk like me to other people. The other reason I'm sharing this with you is if something shows up in your DMs, because I missed the color code and you're like, that really doesn't sound like her, because she's not going to be exactly like me. I'm just warning you, like if something happens, like if you get a DM from somebody and like me trying to sell you on something, or not sell you, but like talking to you like you're not a client, right? Just be like, oh, this might not be Jules, okay? Because she probably won't happen, but because I've separated you guys, but there's going to be a learning curve. So she called the curve. She doesn't sell anything. All she does is warm up people. So she basically starts conversations with people. So she's not a salesperson. She's not anything like that. She's basically just starting conversations. So if somebody starts a weird conversation with you and you're like, but you already know that about me, it might not be me. Okay, makes sense? But she's gonna like help me a lot. So I don't foresee that happening. I've organized everything, but I thought, well, I should probably warn you. But again, like I said, the other important thing about that is if you have referrals, just make sure that you link us together. She won't touch anything that you are like, hey, Jules, this is my friend so-and-so. She won't go into those if it's a group chat. Cool. Because I really hate doing that. So I'm beyond thrilled that I have somebody starting to do that I'm training to do that. Shadow or assistant coach, you guys have all probably noticed that Amber has been taking on a few little more responsibilities. Do we like Amber? She's doing a killer job with those challenges. So she's pretty much, she doesn't know this until she listens to this, but she's going to take over more and more of that Facebook group for me. I believe you guys would all rather me be writing your programs, your meal plans, and really be working with you versus creating challenges and being over in that Facebook group, right? We all think Amber can handle that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. So you might see less of me. I will still come in there. The goal is I will still do the tribe talks in there. I'll jump in there live every once in a while. There'll still be information from me. But if I come in there, it's going to be coming in with some really hot value for you. I'm going to be letting her do kind of the interacting, the high five and all that fun stuff, the challenges. I'm just going to leave that up to her. You'll probably see her do more of the posting every week, or I'll just come in and drop like sheer value on you. Deal? All right, I think that's it. Sunday and Monday check-ins. Bump, bump, bump. I think I talked to you about everything. Those were the things that I wanted. And I might be bringing on, so I'm working with Amber as she gets going. I may be bringing in, as we grow, another assistant coach just to help with other things like we haven't decided. So here's the deal. I'm just going to drop this bug. Going forward, the only people that I will bring in outside, and I might not even always do this, The tribe might be people that are like working as virtual assistants. Anybody that I bring in to help support me as I grow, as coaches, mindset coaches, people like to help me within the team, I'm always going to hire within. So if anybody ever has an interest, or of somebody that in the tribe that should be reaching out, I will always, as I start to expand and grow, I will look within. Why? Because you all know the brand, right? You all know the brand. So that feather she has. Oh, cracks me up. All right, guys. If that makes sense, if you're down with it, let me know in the chat box. I really hope you enjoyed this call. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for showing up, but for being in this tribe and giving it all you got, because y'all been winning this week. Like, y'all have been on fire. I'm super proud of you all. Boom, fist bump. You are all weak. All right, guys. Anything else from me, or are we good?
So good. Thanks, Jules.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank
Well,
you so
again,
much.
you're welcome. I appreciate you all showing up. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. Don't forget your homework assignments, and to vote on when we want that second call. But I think that's a good idea, don't you? And I think as everybody gets used to it, these calls will get bigger, and I think it'll be a lot more helpful. And then Anastasia's idea of writing down questions, that was an awesome idea, because I think you all have the same questions. That's a great idea. All right, guys, take care. Have a great weekend. See you later. Bye.